Welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner. This is another Photoshop Elements video tutorial, and I am your host Jack. For all these tutorials and great high-resolution videos, and even some tutorials that you won't find on YouTube, stop by my website, jackstechcorner.com, and you'll see a full listing of all DVDs packed full of Photoshop Elements videos. If you're a Mac user, you might want to pick up the Mac version. The Mac version also contains Element 6 and iPhoto 09. And if you think you know iPhoto, you may want to pick up the video anyway just to have a look, because there's a lot of features in there that I was even really surprised with. So stop by and have a look. That's jackstechcorner.com. Okay. Let's get started, because this is probably going to be one of my biggest and largest video tutorials to date. There's so much to do in this video that I just can't even tell you. I've been working with this picture right here all morning long, and I wanted to share this with you and show you how I came up with this picture and how I had to change a lot of stuff to get this picture set up the way I really wanted it. Now, it looks good to you right now, and you'll say, boy, Jack, well, what are you going to do to this picture? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a new technique that I teach in class. It's a technique, instead of using the clone stamp tool or the spot healing brush, this is a technique where we actually build layers. Look at all my layers over here in the layers palette. This will build layers to hide imperfections in your picture. And it takes a little bit of time. That's why this video is going to take some time for us to get this technique down and show you the simple technique. And once I show you, you'll be able to go to town hiding things in your picture. All you got to do is be very careful of what you're hiding it with. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to make sure I have this saved. Yep, it is saved. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and close it. Alright, now let me go back and find that picture that we are going to work with. Let's see here. This is just a very, very large picture here. And it takes quite a bit of work to get this picture set up the way I want it. Okay. Here's the picture we're going to work with. Let's go ahead and open that up in the full editor. Alright. View, fit the screen. Now, as you can see from the other picture I just showed you, the imperfections are gone. Here's the imperfections I'm worried about. It's a beautiful picture of the family. We went out, it was a beautiful Saturday. We went out and we went to eat downtown. If you're familiar with the Pittsburgh region, you'll know this is downtown in the Strip District in Pittsburgh. And I took us across the street, and you can take all the photography classes you want, and you still do not realize I have this in the picture, and I have this pole in the picture. I wasn't very pleased when I sat down to look at these, and I thought, wow, how am I going to fix that? So I came up with a little tutorial here for you to show you how to hide some of these imperfections and actually fix this. Now, let's get started right off the bat by duplicating this background and closing that. Just shut this one off, because we're not going to be watching that anyway. We're going to be using this background copy. Now, when I do these, I like to blow up or enlarge the pieces I'm working on, because it's a lot easier to follow this stuff. So we're going to start right here with this signpost. Okay, I can probably blow it up a little bit more so I can see what's going on. There we go. Now, the first part we're going to work on is we're going to be hiding all this stuff in here, so you have to watch and know what you can hide it with. I also teach us, if you're using flash photography and you happen to flash on the glass, you know, you get that reflection. You can hide that reflection just by using another piece of glass. Alright, so let's start off right here, and we're going to make a selection using our the rectangular marquee tool. Okay, that's what we're going to use. You see how I highlighted just a little portion right here of this, because it's two-tone colors. Now let's go to Layer, New Layer, via Copy. There we go. That's our new layer. Now click on the Move tool and just simply drag this right over that sign and line it up with the other one. There we go. Just like that. That looks good. Now I click on the background just to make sure it looks alright. It looks pretty good there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to hide the rest of this pole. Okay, I did that kind of a quick and dirty way just by using the marquee tool again. And now we're going to go right here and we're going to select this post. We just pull this post down, come all the way down, and come all the way down to the ground, right about there. Alright. Now again, we're going to layer, new layer via copy. Now you can start to see where I'm getting all my layers from. Let's just pull this post on top of this post. We're just going to line those up. Just like so. We'll pull it out just a little bit. Click your checkbox. There we go. Now, so we have that portion done. Now let's go back to our selection tool. We're going to select just a piece in here. Right about there. And do it again. New layer via copy. As you can see, you're starting to see, if you don't have your background copy on, see, I got to select this because that's what we're copying. Got to make sure we have the information set. I'll just pull this over. That's portion of the sign right here. I can just pull that down a little bit to cover that little bit of white. Click OK. There we go. We have that portion done. So that portion's done. Now let's go down here. Let's look at the bottom of the pole. The bottom of the pole you can see is within this concrete. And there was a little bit of problem because of this line. So I wasn't going to worry too much about that line. Of course we can come down. And we're going to go right about here. We'll leave that go. Make sure the background layer is selected. New layer via copy. And then we'll pull this over onto here. Just like so. There we go. Excuse me. Click back on the background layer. Let's have a look and see where we're at so far. Okay. At that point you can see that the pole is gone. I have this auto select layers on, that's why you see those layers coming up. But the pole is actually gone. Okay? It's blending in very nicely now. It's not there. The sign's there and we're going to deal with that. That took me about an hour to figure out how I was going to deal with that sign, but I'll show you that also. Now, let's move on to this over here. This piece of looks like an old pole for a parking meter. Background is selected. Let's go ahead and focus in on this. Alright. Now, with that background selected, just click on our our square selection tool. Hey, if nothing better, you know, these are live. I told you, you know, if I get a little tongue-tied, well, then I'm a little tongue-tied. Okay, take about this much of this plate here. Again, layer, new layer via copy. Select our move tool and let's move it onto here. Try to match up those diamonds the best you can. Alright, back onto here. Now this part here is a little concerned with right here because of this board. So what I thought I would do is I would just use that and make a new layer out of that board. Just going to come right across here the best I can. Now remember, these are blown up. You know, when you're looking at this stuff, it's all very, very enlarged. So when we put this back to view normal view, it's not going to be that large. And now if you see it like this, you can also pull this down a little bit. You can resize this just a little bit. You don't want to pixelate it, so be careful. There you go. Click back on the background. Now right here I thought, well, what am I going to do with this here because of this grate thing here? So I thought I would do is move the grate over just to make it look like it flows together instead of having a piece of just cement coming right up to that even there. It looks like it's cut a little bit. So I thought, well, I'm going to make sure I take this and I'm going to cut that just a little bit. So we're going to go right here. Just like that. Again, oops. Layer. New layer via copy. Right, because you're copying that. Let's move that over and see what we get. Now this one you should match up with that one, right? Want to match this up the best we can. Pull it out a little bit. Okay, so now we pulled that out a little bit and it actually is flowing now. It goes right across there. Okay. Now we need a part of this here. So as you can see, it's just a bunch of new layers is all this is. And it seemed to work out pretty well for me. So I'm just going to use this piece of door right here. New layer via copy. I'm going to move that over. So it's covering this part of the pole. Right? Okay. That looks pretty good. Now we have this little piece of the pole to worry about right here, and that's pretty easy to get rid of. Just pick a piece of the sidewalk here, right about the same angle. New layer via copy. Let's move it, and move this onto here, just to hide that. Now let's take another look, just a quick look at it to see what it looks like in full screen. And there you go. At that point, the pole is gone. I know you have this little crease here, but you know that could be another part of the door or something on there. So we're not going to even be concerned with that. We're just going to let that go. But as you can see already, we have the imperfections out of there. Now, the only thing I was worried about was this sign up here, because this parking thing now seems like it's stuck onto nothing. So I thought, you know, and I tried to block it out. Tried a lot of different techniques up here. But what I decided to do was just make a bunch of new blocks, reblock that, and then I decided I was going to actually retype the text back in there and just give it another neon glow. Because remember, a lot of times with your pictures there was nobody there in the first place. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We are going to go right above here, just like that, because I don't want to catch this little reflection here. See that little reflection? Now, new layer via copy. Now these ones aren't too bad, because if you move this over here, alright, you pull this down a little bit, pull it out just a little bit. Alright, now do a Control J. There's another copy of that. And this is just like building a puzzle. That's kind of how I explain this. Okay, Control J, we'll duplicate it again. Just keep moving these across here. Okay, another Control J. Move this one over. Control J. This way I'm just keeping that marble up there. I was looking for a texture to do this, and I thought, well, you could probably find a texture jack, but the more I looked, the more I thought, I'll just cover it. And if your block doesn't fit too well, remember, just move it up a little bit. Alright. Control J. Just like this. Alright. Control J. It's looking pretty good so far. Looking realistic. Control J, and we'll cover this part up. Go up here just a little bit higher. Alright. Now you see we got tons of layers in there. Click the background. Alright. That looks okay. Now we have that all covered up. We have that sign going out of there. So, you know, that was my eyesore. That's what I worked on so long on this video. Or not the video, actually the picture, so I can have this one developed. I like to get pictures printed when we go on, you know, little day trips with the kids. It's kind of fun. Alright. Now what I did, I selected that last layer and this top layer, and I selected them all, just like that. Now, I got them all selected. I want to add some text in there, right? We got to put that text back in there, Permani Brothers. So, let's click on the text tool. And I just came in here, just like so. We're going to cheat a little bit because I already found the text I want to use up here. So we're cheating a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Okay. And it's going to look a little bit different to you because this is all caps. M-A-N-T-I. Brothers. B-R-O-S. Period. Alright. Click the little checkbox. Now we have a new Permane Brothers text box there. Let's select that. Let's pull it down a little bit. You can even make this a little bigger if you wish. Just like so. Now at that point, that looks pretty good. But where's the neon? We need that neon to be in there. Let's go under the effects. And if you go into your layer styles, this is where we usually work with bevels and everything. And I came down and I found neon. And I wanted this blue neon. Okay, so you can just grab this blue neon and pull it right over and click on there. Now it's a neon sign. Now it could actually be blown up a little bit more. Permane Brothers is here. Click the checkbox. The last thing I thought was, well, that looks pretty good, but it kind of looks like it's painted on there because it's a little too bright. All you have to do is drop your opacity down a little bit. All right, just drop this down a little bit and make it a little bit duller in there. Make it a little darker, just like so. Now if we click on that backdrop, and I think we're already fit the screen. There we go. We'll fit that to screen. And there you have it. We did a lot of masking, or a lot of layering, and a lot of hiding on this, so we can actually get all the imperfections gone. Like I said, we had to redo the sign because of that other sign being in there. And once you do it, you could actually take this. You'd have to be careful, but you could take that even, and you might even be able to drop that down some of the opacity. If you grab all these layers at once, and you could drop the opacity of that down. Okay, you'd have to probably do it. You'd have to group all those layers to do it. Let's see if we can do that. See if we can group all these layers. We'll just link them together. Just like so. Then we can drop the opacity down. Oh, that just wants to drop one. It's not working for us. Told you folks, sometimes with the live show, that's what you get. I didn't play with that part. Let's unlink them. There you go. Then go to layer though. We go to layer. We can merge those layers and see if that works. Merge them all together. Now let's see if we can drop the opacity down. Yeah, but see, you're going to start bringing that sign back up underneath. So I would suggest not to lower the opacity of that backdrop. So, but that's how you get them all down to one, is merge them. Everything else here, you could actually merge all this down too if you wished, just to make it a little bit easier to see. And there is your final product. I hope that you've enjoyed this video tutorial, and I'm going to call this hiding secrets. How about that? Or hiding with layers. Maybe we'll call it that. Hiding with layers. That sounds like a good name for a video. So folks, until next time, remember, as always, keep those shutters clicking. As you've seen, I was out shooting all day yesterday. Keep the editors editing. I've done that all morning, so I've been pretty busy with that. And I'll see you back here very soon with another video tutorial. Until then, please stop by the website, jackstechcorner.com. Check out everything there I have to offer for you, and also sign up for the web forums. And if you don't need the DVDs and you think you're fine with the YouTube videos, I mean the DVDs are a lot higher resolution, then you can always help us out by sliding down the web page and clicking on the donation button. So, until next time, I'll see you. Take care. Bye for now.